Good morning, everyone. Bonjour, Ani. I'm Jeff Pafford, Director of Parks and Recreation with the City of Greater Sudbury, and your MC for today's event. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people of the Robinson-Huron Treaty, traditionally shared by the people of the Atikamekw, Anishinaabeg, and Wanapitei First Nation. We honor and respect these Indigenous peoples as the ancestors and traditional stewards of the land upon which we stand today. Welcome everyone to the Howard Armstrong Recreation Center. It gives me great pleasure to begin today's event by inviting Minister Rosenberg to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us in Sudbury today while we celebrate some very important announcements. I am happy to join Ministers Lumsden and Ministers Peary, as together we are honored to be a part of today's events. Communities in the north are very sports-minded, and we tend to join together to cheer on our local hockey teams, watch our families and friends as they hit the ice, or just gather to try new things. The arenas and sports complexes in these towns are central to our communities, and the province is happy to assist them in keeping this safe and a vital part of our communities. Today, I'm pleased to announce that through our government's Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund, we are supporting a number of projects across northeastern Ontario, and I'm proud to let you know what they are. The Town of Hearst Claude Lacroix Centre will receive $452,100 for upgrades to improve accessibility and extend the lifespan of infrastructure. The City of Temiskaming Shores will receive $484,100 for the Don Shepherd's Memorial Arena roof replacement. The municipality of Marks Day Warren will receive $585,250 for the renovations to their multiplex for continued programming and to increase programming for floor hockey, pickleball, and Zumba. Zumba. Kashechewan First Nation will have $614,642 for Kashechewan Arena improvement projects with improved safety measures and roof repairs. The town of Espanola will receive $960,800 for their arena ice plant retrofit, reducing energy consumption and eliminating the current ammonia refrigeration system. And finally, and the most important one here today, by the looks of the crowd, glad to see everyone out, the City of Sudbury, who will be able to develop the Valley East Twin Pad multi-purpose sports complex that will be built in the field right beside us. The complex will include 2 NHL-sized accessible rinks, 9 change rooms per ice surface, a gymnasium for multi-purpose sports, a daycare area, heating viewing area, public areas and offices. This funding for this project has been approved for $10 million. So congratulations to everyone, and where would we be without this funding in these arenas? Because how would Tim Hortons, who would be the best hockey team, and you know how Montreal Canadiens were the last Canadian team to win the cup. Take care. Congratulations, everyone.
I'm Neil Lumsden, and I'd like the cheering section to travel with me, if you wouldn't mind, around the province. I think that, you know, it's a fabulous day for a lot of different reasons, but it's really a great day to see the community come out and understand the importance of this. And thank you for taking the time to do that. It's a pleasure to be here, obviously, and with my colleagues, MPP Rosenberg and Minister Peary. The funding you just heard about goes way beyond just bricks and mortar. It's an investment to protect the future of these communities. This is where kids learn teamwork and develop confidence and leadership skills, where seniors stay active and moving, which helps our healthcare down the road, where families gather friendships form and memories are made. And I can tell you from experience, both for myself and my kids, lots of memories, lots of great experiences, and you can only get them through sport and recreation. And that's why it's easy to say these spaces are the heart of these communities. That's why our government launched the $200 million Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund. And thanks to our Premier, who understands that sport plays a huge part, a critical part of all communities. And to help these municipalities and organizations across Ontario build and improve facilities that need support for our growing populations. With every investment, we're protecting local jobs, building critical infrastructure, and creating more opportunities to boost our economy through sport tourism. Together, we're building a brighter future for sport and recreation in Ontario, one community at a time. And it's like eating an apple. Our impact is going to be one community, one bite at a time. And we understand, certainly the Ministry of Sport, our staff, and everyone involved totally get why this is so important. And that's why we're thrilled to be here today to be part of this announcement and to see the faces of those that are going to be the beneficiaries and your families and their families for years and years to come. So thanks for the opportunity. And now it's a real pleasure to introduce who used to be my cellmate in the legislature. We sat beside each other for a while. I didn't say cell, did I? I meant, okay, my sort of bunkie mate in the ledge, Minister Peary. George, come on up.
It really is a pleasure for me to be here today. As you know, I lived in Sudbury for a number of years, went to school at Laurentian. We lived over in Peppertree Village for a number of years. My uncle was a school principal here. I lived in Falconbridge. So my oldest daughter was born in 1979 in Sudbury. And before I start my remarks, I really got a compliment the city of Sudbury and what they've created here in Hamner. Hamner was a fairly small town in the early 70s. It's always been a beautiful town. It's even more beautiful right now. You guys have done a great job, so you must congratulate yourselves. So as always, it's great to be here along Minister Lumsden and MPP Rosenberg. And always a pleasure to be a part of an exciting announcement like this one. This is the easiest part of the job. During these uncertain times, our government is laser focused on protecting the province's economy and supporting growth in Northern Ontario. To help ensure the North's economy remains resilient and self-reliant, we're investing in critical infrastructure that will make this a place where people will want to live, visit, and to do business. The new state-of-the-art Valley East Twin Pan multi-purpose sports complex. Can you get that on us? You got to shorten that name. Yeah, I know. Will have a significant impact on local communities. The facility will serve residents well and show the rest of the province that Northern Ontario is strong and vibrant. I'd like to thank Minister Lumsden and the Community Support and Recreational Infrastructure Fund for recognizing the true value of the North and this project. Good job, Neil. Recreational facilities come with so many benefits that everyone gets to enjoy, from making sports more accessible to bringing in revenue for municipalities. That's why our government continues to invest in these important spaces. Another important tool when it comes to building a stronger, more competitive Northern economy is the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation, or NOHFC for short. Since June 2018, we've invested more than $905 million through the NOHFC to foster economic growth, job creation, and workforce development throughout the North, benefiting communities from all sizes, both rural and urban. The fund also has the Community Engagement Program, Enhancement Program, which helps Northern community centres, arenas, and sports clubs get the upgrades they need to help their regions thrive. Northern Ontario really is a community of communities, and it's a community of largely small communities that are essential for the social fabric of not only Northern Ontario, but Ontario and Canada. They're an essential part of the social fabric of our society. As Northern Ontario grows, we must create safe spaces that maintain and foster a sense of community, something that's vital for our well-being. And I'm sure every child, every grandchild, I mean, they're busy on their iPads, wherever it is. If we're going to have a healthy community, we've got to invest in these facilities. The kids have to be busy. They can't just be looking at a screen. These investments are so important to the health of the whole community. This new complex will become a true landmark in Sudbury, hosting memorable sports, events, and cultural activities, and supporting physical and mental health. Furthermore, with the facility's NHL-sized rinks, Sudbury will become a place people want to travel for their hockey tournaments, creating more businesses for our restaurants, hotels, and shops. A strong tourism sector is a key part of any booming economy. This complex will bring Ontarians from across the province to Sudbury who may not have visited otherwise. And once you visit and see what the North has to offer, it's hard not to want to come back and stay. I can't wait for the Valley East Twin Pad multipurpose sports complex to open its door and to see its lasting impact. When one investment not only supports our economy but also brings the community together, it's special. This investment is only one of the many game-changing actions our government is taking to build a stronger Northern Ontario. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peary. Please join me in welcoming Greater Sudbury Mayor Paul Lefebvre to say a few words.
Well, good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Ani, it's a beautiful day. Well, I mean, we have great sunshine, but great announcement, and great people that are here joining us today for this very, very special day. Before I get into my remarks, I just wanted to recognize that the efforts today is over the years in making, almost a decade, since Council for Sudbury decided to want to invest in a twin pad in the Valley. And we always said we will always move forward with other levels of government supporting us. We receive federal funding, but now we're receiving an immense support from the province of Ontario. And we are really, really, really thrilled, and we want to recognize that this important investment, because the city of Sudbury contributes a lot to the Ontario economy. We are, when you look at the mining sector alone, over half of the GDP contributed to the Ontario economy from the mining sector actually comes from Sudbury itself. We're looking at over $24 billion to the Ontario economy. Around 12 comes from Sudbury alone. And we are a growing city, as George, you mentioned, and you and I have had great conversations on this. We're at 186,000 individuals now, and we are growing. And there's a lot of great stuff happening. But that's why our facilities or amenities need help. And that's why we can't do it alone. So the recognition of the province of Ontario coming today to see us and announce this remarkable, very almost historic funding for us is extremely exciting. And the fact that you're here, Minister Lumsden, in person to make it with us, that is really, really, really important for us, because it demonstrates the province of Ontario's support for the city of Greater Sudbury, as well as other communities up north. I see Mayor Gervais is here as well from Espanola. I see some folks from Marks Day Warren that are here with us as well. And I'm sure the folks from Hearst and Saskatchewan are so very, very cognizant and very pleased to receive this very important funding. Because as George said, and ministers and MPP Rosenberg said as well, these facilities are family areas, right? Kids go there and they learn life skills through game, through sports. And the fact that we can have modern facilities, because in the city of Greater Sudbury, we did a really good job back in the 60s and 70s, but now our infrastructure is aging greatly. So the fact that we can build modern adapted facilities like this goes a long, long way. So I think, as was mentioned as well, the tourism dollars that this will generate. We are a hockey hub, as was mentioned, and we're going to do even more because of these facilities that we'll be able to have. These modern building standards, more energy efficient, climate conscious, and they'll be much more cost effective. And so, on est très heureux, parce qu'on sait que nos arénas plus anciens ont dépassé leur durée de vie prévue. Nous avons maintenant l'occasion de construire plus intelligemment, d'investir judicieusement, and de laisser un héritage durable aux générations futures. But as I said at the beginning, this was Council's obviously desire to move this forward. I see Councillor Lapierre that is with us from this beautiful ward of Ward 6. And you've been a champion for this project since you've been elected as council. So I want to recognize you, and I know we have Councillor Signoretti and Councillor McIntosh as well that are extremely supportive of this initiative. So that's why for us to say thank you is an understatement. We are very, really pleased to be here with you to recognize this important investment by the province of Ontario. We can't do this alone. So I know when the minister and actually the premier announced the funding, I said, well, could Sudbury get a piece of that? And boy, oh boy, we got more than a piece of what we wanted. So again, we're really, really pleased for that. So together, we'll ensure that this facility reflects the needs, values, and aspirations of Greater Sudbury, Valley East as a whole as well. So merci, miigwech. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Lefebvre. That concludes our formal remarks. Thank you all again for being here today to take part in this exciting announcement. Thank you, merci, miigwech. We will now take questions from the media. I invite Wesley Austin, Press Secretary, to join the podium.
So if any members of the media would like to ask any questions, please form a line behind me. It'll be one question, one follow-up. That concludes media availability. Oh, what? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, sorry, most of my questions are about the nuances of the municipal funding, but how did you guys come up with the 10 million figure? Like, what did the city request, and how did you guys come up with that figure?
How did we come up with the figure, or how did they come up with the figure?
Oh, the province or the city, is that what they requested?
Well,
like what?
I
believe
we can do both. Yeah. You can start.
Yeah, I can start. Yeah, so that was what was requested. Certainly, I believe in the nuances there was a certain of a cap per capita that we had looked at, and so yeah, so that's what the city had requested. So the fact that again we always ask for everything, but at the same time, certainly as we said, there's only $200 million, which is immense and goes a long way. A little goes a long way. Obviously, this is a piece of the overall cost of the investment that we need to do. But without this investment from the province, we're not moving forward. And that's why it's key that this investment today allows us to move this project forward. Because without it, we wouldn't be moving forward. We always said as a city, we would always move forward if we had other levels of government funding. And here we are today with the province, so we're moving it forward because of that investment. Thank you.
I guess just to add to that, and it allows me to not only thank those that were involved here today and that led the charge, if you will, but those that, I don't know if anyone's here today, were part of the application process or part of the group that pulled this together, but congratulations to everyone who was involved, because as I've said to a number of people over the last month or so, this boils down, not to make everything about sport, but this boils down to a competition when it comes to the application. It's very intricate, it's very detailed, it's a competitive application process, and those that come out on top have the best applications, not only through need, but a lot of other levels of requirements. So again, congratulations to them, and that's how it unfolds. It's a long process, but I guess to say it was popular is an understatement. Just if you're interested, there were, and I've said this dozens of times, $200 million seems like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But when your requests go over $1.2 billion for the $200 million, it gives you an idea of why the Premier was supportive of moving this forward, why we as a ministry knew and understand how important sport and recreation is and sport tourism is, and it's working out pretty well, and hopefully it will continue to work out.
Okay, that concludes media availability. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.